What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is your boy Adamslink. I hope you're on a day okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you guys are watching this video from. So we have so much to discuss, mainly about politics and also Nnamdi Kanu's issue. Well, yesterday Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted by the Court of Appeal in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. And of course, we saw the jubilations coming from the agitators, the Biafran. We saw the jubilation, we saw the happiness, people coming online and asking the federal government to immediately release Nnamdi Kanu. In Nigeria, one thing is to get court judgment. The other thing is to actually get release from the prison. Two things are involved. So yesterday in my video, I said, okay, good and fine, Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted, but will the federal government will the federal government allow Nnamdi Kanu to go? And of course, we saw a lot of people trying to rub the whole issue with politics. They are saying the reason why Nnamdi Kanu was kind of like discharged and acquitted yesterday was because they want him not to allow election to hold in the East. And the East people are for Peter Obi. You know, politics and everything rubbing into the whole situation. But I don't want to go into politics now concerning Nnamdi Kanu victory. Well, AGF Malami, the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, says the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has only been discharged and not acquitted by the Court of Appeal. Recall that the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja on Thursday, October 13, discharged Nnamdi Kanu and discharged Kanu, who was being prosecuted by the federal government at the Federal High Court in Abuja for 50 count charges bordering including treasonably, felony and terrorism, offenses he denied. Reacting to the court order, Malami, in the statement signed by the spokesperson, Dr. Umar Jibril, said the appeal court only discharged Kanu and did not acquit him. The statement read, "The Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice has received the news of the decision of the Court of Appeal concerning the trial of Nnamdi Kanu." The statement said, "For the avoidance of doubt and by the verdict of the court, Kanu was only discharged and not acquitted. Consequently, the appropriate legal option before the authorities will be exploited and communicated accordingly to the public. The decision handed down by the Court of Appeal was on a single issue that borders on redemption. Let it be clear to the general public that other issues that predate redemption on the basis of which Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail remain valid issues for judicial determination." Well, they are not letting him go now. He's not free. That is according to the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice. They are not letting him go now. He still have other issues to face as well. So he said the court only discharged Nnamdi Kanu, not acquitted. But yesterday the headline was Nnamdi Kanu's freed. Nnamdi Kanu has regained freedom. Is free to go, discharged and acquitted. That was what we had yesterday. That is exactly what we heard from his lawyer yesterday. That Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted. So to all those people who can interpret the law, who can interpret the English, discharged and acquitted, please come and interpret it for us because we do not understand. We don't understand. Well, the battle still begins, guys. The battle is not over yet for the federal government. And the battle is not also over yet for Nnamdi Kanu. But you saw the jubilation yesterday. Now there are some group who are now asking the federal government to allow Nnamdi Kanu to go home. Well, let's move past that and let's talk about Peter Obi. So there was this occasion held yesterday. Peter Obi and other dignitaries were there, including Olusegun Obasanjo, former Nigeria president. And you know what this old man do? This old man, of course, was invited to the stage to of course, make a speech, and you know what he did? He was talking, then he decided to just walk straight to Peter Obi's chair, lift Peter Obi up, and bring Peter Obi to his chair and said, "My work is done," outrightly giving his full support to Peter Obi.
In the presence of Nigerians, Ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate our former president, Obasanjo.
Job is done. Outrightly giving his support to Peter Obi. You know, like we have said before, we all believe that we are in a democratic system of government. Everyone is free to vote, to speak for whoever they want to speak for in this country. You are free to vote, campaign for your own government, show support to them. So, it's his own right. Just like every other one that will go on to support Atiku Abubakar, to support Kwankwaso, to support Tinubu. Same thing Obasanjo did. So he shouldn't face any scrutiny or bashing or whatsoever. Everyone is free to do whatever they please. Maybe that feels like, okay, this is for the benefit of Nigeria and for the whatever benefit. It might be for the benefit of themselves. That is why they are supporting any candidate. There are people like that. Because of the thing, the presidency, the person that will become in power will benefit them, so they will give their all to that candidate. And it's good, guys. That is the beauty of democracy. You are free to support whoever you want to support. After all, we'll all have one vote. Get your PVC, and on that day, make sure you go out and vote. Make sure you go out and vote. And speaking of vote, there's this headline coming from Vanguard. They said, this one's coming from Jonathan. Jonathan said, "I am really ready to support PDP. Jonathan backs Atiku Okowa ticket." Jonathan has publicly, according to Vanguard, backed Atiku and Okowa's ticket. It says for Atiku and Okowa. For what PDP? Is a full-blown PDP member. So he's going to support them. And also as well, there's this stuff that was happening yesterday concerning Peter Obi. Peter Obi, they kind of like made an error during their appointment. They said Peter Obi appoint army spokesman who claimed Lekki massacre was Photoshop as campaign member. This army spokesman during the EndSARS period, the Lekki massacre, this man was the person who was speaking on behalf of the army. And he said that pictures, everything you saw at that Lekki tollgate were all Photoshop. I think the man has retired now, the army officer has retired, and is part of the Labour Party. And guess what? Peter Obi employed this man to be among his campaign member. Of course, now you know how that country go feel for Nigerians now. Peter Obi make with the support. Peter Obi make we take as our personal person, like with the supporter, and Peter Obi know exactly what youth feels. Majority of the youth supporting him feels about Lekki tollgate, and now the person made the touch that Photoshop that Peter Obi called the employer, called the rapport with, you know, all those kind of things mess up the brain and be like, Peter Obi now one of them too. he be part of them, all those kind of things, guys. But guess what? It was quickly rectified, and according to the headline later, they say Major General John, retired, who once called the Lekki massacre Photoshop, has been removed from Peter Obi's campaign team after public outcry. Although we know how the army work, you cannot go against the army. As long as you are an army officer, you can't. Whatever they determine, that is what you will say. Even if you see blue as an army officer and the whole entire army body tells you that blue you saw is red, you are not supposed to say that thing is blue. You say it's red. That is how they are trained. I don't blame him as the officer who was saying those pictures were photoshopped, simply because that is exactly what our army saw it. That is the thing they said they should say. So what do you expect him to do? I understand, but integrity still has to come into the whole issue about Lekki Toge. So being removed, I think it kind of like shows that Peter Obi listening. Unlike some other politicians, if you like, you cry from now till tomorrow. They have made the decision, they have made that decision. That person will come to stay. If you like, deal with it. If you like, don't deal with it. So at least it's good that they are actually listening. And of course, Nollywood actor Kenneth Okonkwo, well, he just announced, he said, Kenneth Okonkwo appointed a spokesperson of Peter Obi Presidential Campaign Council. I give special thanks to God Almighty for this appointment. More importantly, my special love and thanks to all the obedient family for your prayers, love and support for this appointment. He has been appointed as the spokesperson for Peter Obi's Presidential Campaign Council. No, he actually deserves it. You saw the way he speaks beautifully. Whenever he's trying, when he's doing interviews with channels or with Arise TV, he speaks well. Support Peter Obi to the core. So I think he actually deserves that appointment, guys. Well, at the end of the day, like we have said before, and we all agree, one man, one vote. So try as much as possible to get your PVC and vote for whoever you want to vote for. And then anyone is free to support whoever they want to support. And big correlation again to Nnamdi Kanu, who was discharged, and according to the federal government, he was only discharged, not acquitted. So he's still going to remain in the federal government custody in prison until he answers to other issues the federal government has with him. And people are already reading politics into the whole discharge and acquitted issue. So, let's just see how everything will go. And I think this is the right step to the right direction. And also to Peter Obi being like Olusegun Obasanjo just say that my candidate be this. And also Peter Obi, also Goodluck Jonathan said Atiku and Okowa is his own candidate. So people are picking, they have picked their own candidate. And guess what? All those people, all those ex-president, they do not have two votes. They have one vote as well. So the things still lie. The power is with you guys. It's with me. It's with you. So whatever they want to endorse, let them endorse whoever they want to endorse. Peter Obi, Atiku, Tinubu, so we have the right to vote, and we have the power to decide who will be the next Nigeria president. So guys, bye. Thank you. Next time. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed. Bye.